After 3 turns at Anagawa. First of all, route values are getting up there. The Oda is at about 106 total points. He had another clan leave the field. The Asai combined, I think, come out to around 140. Now, the Asai need about 170 to break, so they're not far. I mean, they lose another clan, even a small one, and they're in trouble. That big clan is a huge amount of points. And they've got units routing. Those could come back, which would definitely help. The Oda have about 195, so they're still in pretty good shape. Obviously, big mistakes, though, could cost, and they took some heavy losses this turn. And they've got another clan that's kind of beat up. So we'll see. What do we have going on? Well, mainly over here on the Asai side, they fortified their position a little bit, and that looked tough to attack and get an outflank on. So the Oda more or less ignored that side, only moving a little bit of force out there to try and threaten the position. The main fighting all happened over here against Asakura, with Tokugawa involved. Now, this was already weakened, and Oda sent one clan over for an outflank right around here. That would be the Shibata clan, and they did rather impressive. But one thing to notice is that the Asakura actually committed their household troops, and that's leaving the Hanshin open, which could be a bit of a risk. It's not as big as leaving Sotaisho's Hanshin open, because, well, first of all, there are no severed heads, so it's not a big deal at all. But if there were, they could be risked by that. And those severed heads are a big bonus. In the case of the Oda, that's 15 extra points, so instead of 195, they actually need 210 to route, as long as they can keep that bonus. But after committing that unit, after committing the Shibata clan into this area near the river, what we saw was the Ashikura committed their home guard, as it were, to come charging down, slammed into that, caused a lot of casualties, because all the Asakura clans are big, and so they were able to get a lot of damage on it. But as a follow-up, what did we get? I don't know who this is. Sakuma. Their clan was committed, coming from over about here in the river, just shot back behind, getting like a triple momentum, and they were able to do a lot of damage as well. So the situation's kind of still very fluid over there, which is leading the Asai to think they have to attack in some form or another, even though they were constructing this kind of defensive position. We saw some more samurai activity. Big one over here. Megara. It's a 7-7. I think that's about as good as they come. He went out to actually challenge. He charged into the troops of the Shibata clan and attacked their daimyo directly. They fought for a little bit, and then the daimyo left, losing face, rather than getting killed, but then his whole clan left anyway, so it doesn't really make a lot of difference. One of the things is, it does prevent a severed head from going over there, and that's kind of a cool factor to running away from battle. You don't want to give them severed heads. So we've got, I think, 3 samurai on the board, 2 more over here on the Asai themselves, and they're kind of cool feature in the game. I mean, obviously that would not fit anywhere but Japan historically that I'm aware of, but it feels very much like a nice system that would be a good flavor in. There's a game that has challenge combat in it that just does not work called Albion, fantasy game, set in England. Um, and something more like this works so much better that I don't know, the scales are different. But I like the fact that you can run from combat, that combat doesn't mean somebody's going to die, somebody important. And refusing combat is really bad in this. In that, it's a morale penalty to your army. In this, it's, well, you've lost face, and you have to regain that. The only way you can regain that is in single combat. All right, a lot of time chattering and not a lot said, as usual. But I don't know. This is turning out to be an interesting battle. At the end of 4 turns in Anagawa. Well, seen a little bit of development on both sides. None of it terribly exciting. I mean, playing it kind of is. There's this whirling mass of engagements going on. So, for example, here we had an attempt to pull out on the Asuka. I don't even remember what they are. Asakura clan. Yeah. Pulling out, which got somewhat interdicted by trumps on Oda's side. That. And it was really kind of an exciting little interactive play. If you like that kind of thing a lot, this is definitely a cool system for that. All right, what else happened over there? We had sent a samurai somewhere. I think it was on this side. Got himself killed. Definitely seeing more samurai action going on. It's kind of cute. It can halt an army like a clan because you kill the leader before he goes. So that's kind of cool. On the other hand, they could just withdraw from the combat. Now that also halts them though. So if you want to use your units, you have to risk the leaders, and losing face is bad. Over here we saw the beginning of an engagement where that one wing attacked along with another. We had a crisis of faith over on whoever's wing this is. Yeah. Where he pulled back from combat. That's kind of a cool event. It comes off this, you can tell Berg is involved in this part, the die roll of doom table. Sounds really awful. The 9 result sounds the worst, crisis of faith, but it just meant that he pulled back, and actually that can be an advantage in some combat situations. So it gave him an extra pulse that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise, which is really cool, in order to get out of the battle. This battle has been kind of, it's not clear which side is winning. The Oda definitely got the advantage in the outflank, but it's kind of not going all that well, although they did manage to smash into one of the guards units and send it running. All right. Oh, no, that's the guard. Okay.